Compassion, according to Buddhism, is something every human being is born with. Yet because of the struggle for survival, money, and the ever-growing pull of greed, people seem to show less and less compassion toward others. We sit and watch the world through newspapers, radio, TV, and online media. And sometimes we are shocked by the daily news. It feels like every single day there is some heartbreaking story somewhere on this planet. Starvation, natural disasters, killings, terrorism, and wars caused by human beings. That sudden shock and sorrow you feel for those victims, that is your compassion. The Stoic teaches that cultivating a pure intention of bodhicitta, the awakened mind that seeks enlightenment for the benefit of all beings, is the true path to full realization. Without bodhicitta, a practitioner can never attain full awakening. There has never been a Stoic-like enlightened being in the past who reached complete awakening. Without nurturing bodhicitta, all enlightened beings of the present and the future, including those who will one day fulfill their aspiration to enlightenment, must rely on the growth of bodhicitta in order to realize complete awakening. In the hectic pace of modern life, where science and material technology constantly advance, human beings have less and less time to care for their inner world. We spend most of our day working and chasing pleasures, yet rarely give ourselves quiet moments for the mind to rest in peace, free from worries and burdens. Caught in the endless whirlwind of life, many people forget how to truly be the masters of their own lives. A life filled with pressure, competition, jealousy, and constant struggle cannot bring lasting happiness. In this life, human beings need compassion, because compassion is the very root of happiness. If we are kind only to those who do good and look down on those who do wrong, that is not yet true compassion. Compassion means valuing and loving all sentient beings equally. Even if a being has made mistakes, those mistakes do not prove they are completely evil. No one is absolutely good or absolutely bad. When we understand this deeply and hold firmly to this view, we can begin to practice genuine compassion. There is a story about a little boy born into a family where his father was a painter. The father often painted pictures featuring gods and demons. Unfortunately, the boy fell gravely ill and passed away. After his death, he encountered some demons and felt an odd sense of familiarity. He exclaimed, "Oh, aren't you the same characters from my father's paintings? Come fly kites with me." Seeing the child's open, friendly attitude completely free of hatred or contempt, the demons changed their appearance and played with him like ordinary children. The Stoic teaching that the world is created by the mind is exactly like this. How your mind is, that is how you see the world. If your mind is fearful, the world looks frightening. If your mind is kind, the world appears gentler. Jesus also taught his disciples to love your enemies as yourself, because only love can transform and dissolve all negative energies in this world. Filled with ignorance, craving, and arrogance, we do not cooperate with people who do evil, and we do not support harmful actions. But that does not mean we should judge them or intentionally hurt them as a form of punishment. A mind that judges, condemns, and wants to hurt those who do wrong is still coming from an unwholesome place. In today's world, we easily admire and respect people who do good deeds, and just as easily join the crowd in despising and attacking those who commit wrongdoing. But there comes a time when someone we admired for their goodness makes a serious mistake. Then we immediately switch sides and start throwing stones at them, feeling disgusted and hateful. Our attitude toward people changes like a spinning weather vane in the wind. This instability reveals a mind that is not truly grounded in wisdom, tossed around by the madness and impermanence of the world. Only by practicing compassion, seeing all beings as equal, can our mind become steady in the present moment, instead of spending our time judging and debating about who is right and who is wrong. We should spend that time loving, understanding, and sharing compassion in our own ways. The earth today desperately needs peaceful, healing energies like this in order to transform the many disasters and crises that exist. In any era and any place, compassion remains essential. It is the root of both worldly happiness and spiritual happiness for all sentient beings. Every being already has the seed of compassion within. Even tigers, leopards, and wolves possess this nature. It can be seen when they feed and protect their offspring. Even the most selfish and cruel people still care about their families and friends, with some measure of love and concern. Out of love and compassion for ourselves, we feel deep gratitude and respect for our parents, especially our mother, the one who carried us, gave birth to us, and raised us from the day we were born until we grew up. If we cannot love and honor our own mother, that is truly shameful and hard to accept. This noble quality is also taught in the Dharma. So when we contemplate and practice compassion, we should first think of a mother's love. From there, we gradually extend that compassion to our family members, then to close friends, then to strangers we do not know, and finally to those we consider enemies. If we regularly meditate and reflect in this way, bodhicitta, the awakening mind, will be easier to nurture. That is why so many prayers begin with the phrase, "All beings have been my mother," reminding us to see every being with that depth of gratitude and tenderness. So what are love and compassion? Love is the emotional quality, the beauty of the human heart. It is the feeling of caring, sharing, and supporting one another, of bonding so that we can live and exist together. It is a sacred feeling that arises from sincerity and genuine intention. In Buddhism, compassion is considered the highest mental state. Compassionate actions are the most wholesome and positive of all actions. The essence of compassion is beauty and the highest form of happiness. Compassion is like a fresh, clear spring of water and the basic foundation of the spiritual path. According to classical teachings, loving kindness, metta, comes from an ancient root meaning friendliness or gentle love. It is the wish and heartfelt prayer that all beings may be well and safe. Metta is not material love, nor is it a narrow, personal affection. True metta embraces all beings without excluding anyone. The highest form of metta is a deep sense of unity with all beings, seeing no real separation between self and others. Psychologically, loving kindness is one function of the mental factor of non-hatred. This factor rises together with all wholesome states of mind when it takes as its object beings who are lovable, worthy of respect and admiration. We call this mental factor loving kindness. Compassion, karuna, comes from a root meaning to make the heart tremble at the suffering of others. It is what causes the good person's heart to be moved and to want to relieve others' suffering. Its special function is to feel sorrow for the pain of others and to wish deeply for that suffering to be removed. Loving kindness and compassion both always go together with the mind. Loving kindness focuses on beings who are worthy of love and respect. Compassion focuses on beings who are actually suffering. From a strict psychological standpoint, metta and karuna do not arise at the exact same moment because their objects are different. When loving kindness is present, compassion is not. When compassion is present, loving kindness is not. Yet seen broadly, both do not coexist with complete equanimity because they keep sentient beings as their primary object, and therefore do not arise in the supramundane consciousness that has nirvana as its object. From the perspective of the path of purification, loving kindness has the meaning of dissolving and softening inner knots of resentment, while compassion has the meaning of destroying the suffering of others. In terms of qualities, loving kindness brings joy and calms down aggression, while compassion lessens cruelty and harshness. The goal of loving kindness is to eradicate anger. The goal of compassion is to prevent harmful mental states. The near enemy of loving kindness is attachment. The far enemy is hatred. The near enemy of compassion is possessive pity. The far enemy is cruelty. Loving kindness is a basis for liberation through a purified mind. Compassion is the support for the meditation on boundless compassion in everyday language. Compassion is understood as kindness of heart-loving people and animals, free of selfishness, an attitude especially expressed through helping those in difficulty. When people face misfortune or disaster, they long for a figure of great compassion to appear and rescue them. Temples are often called gates of compassion. A compassionate figure is called a compassionate presence. Gentle and generous people are said to have a compassionate heart, and even a warm gaze or gentle smile may be called compassionate eyes or a compassionate mouth. In short, anything that helps others or brings them joy is seen as an expression of compassion. Thus, compassion is both a mental state and a way of understanding that leads to action. It is a beautiful symbol and a way of living. It is a method of training the mind to grow spiritually, a way of acting that benefits others, and a noble way of life that brings happiness to everyone, recognizing the inseparable, altruistic nature of loving kindness and compassion. Mahayana Buddhism has raised their value to the level of a universal spirit in the work of saving and transforming beings. Compassion is often summarized in the idea that loving kindness brings happiness to all beings, and compassion relieves the suffering of all beings. The nature of compassion is gentle and cool, bringing peace and stability to the hearts of living beings. It actively shares in the suffering of others, wishing that all may live in safety and joy. Compassion gives freely without needing to receive. It does not give because of pressure, ego, or fame. In Buddhist teaching, compassion is rated as the highest mental state. Acts of compassion are the most positive of all actions. The essence of compassion is beauty and noble happiness. It is a fresh and pure source, the fundamental foundation for the spiritual path. Ordinary love and compassion in the world are often narrow and conditional, but the love and compassion taught in the Dharma are vast and limitless. They do not discriminate and are never controlled by anger or craving. The aspiration that all beings may attain happiness and peace, that all beings may be freed from suffering and its causes, that is the unconditional love and compassion being discussed here. There is no sentient being who does not long to receive love and compassion, whether they are family, enemies, friends, or complete strangers. All beings want to be free from suffering and to enjoy happiness. However, most of the time we care only about ourselves and not about others. This is because we cannot truly feel the suffering of others. When pigs, chickens, or other animals are slaughtered, they surely experience extreme pain and fear. Yet many of us do not feel outraged by these acts of killing. We do not generate love and compassionate concern for them. But if we ourselves were pricked by a single needle, we might scream in pain. The difference and injustice in how we treat ourselves and others comes from believing that we are more important than everyone else. Therefore, to develop compassion, we must regularly place ourselves in the position of others. Only then can we truly nurture genuine compassion. We must stop harming other lives and begin to help and benefit sentient beings. This is extremely important. We might feel pity for those who suffer from hunger, lack of clothing, sickness, or poverty. But we often do not empathize with those who are not currently suffering from material deprivation. This comes from a lack of unconditional love and compassion. If we contemplate deeply, we will see that those who are not suffering right now will eventually suffer in the future, because the nature of samsara is impermanence. In the endless cycle of birth and death, happiness is always very short-lived. Whenever a little happiness appears, it quickly turns into suffering again. No matter how rich, powerful, or famous a person is, they still must face death. For that reason, we should feel compassion for all beings. For anyone who sincerely wants to cultivate compassion, action is required, not just words. For example, when you see people who are extremely poor, who have nothing to eat or wear, or who are on the verge of dying from material deprivation, it is meaningless to only say, "They are so pitiful." If we offer them some of our own food and clothing, that is a much more real and practical way to help. Practicing compassion in all of our activities is beneficial not only for spiritual development, but also for worldly life. Yet material charity only softens suffering temporarily. It cannot bring lasting ultimate peace. Therefore, it is crucial to develop boundless compassion for all beings. There is no happiness greater than the happiness that comes from understanding and serving others. This is not something impossible. By making a sincere vow to benefit others without discrimination, we can gradually reduce our own negative emotions. With a pure altruistic motivation, every action we take becomes an expression of the great vehicle teachings. This path leads toward the highest goal, full and perfect enlightenment, which is the source of benefit for ourselves and all sentient beings. Dear friends, this is the end of today's topic. Thank you for listening and spending your time with us. May you receive much positive energy and enjoy a life of peace and serenity. Closing, about Stoicism Philosophy Daily. Stoicism Philosophy Daily is a space dedicated to timeless wisdom on compassion, inner strength, and emotional clarity. Through stories, reflections, and practical teachings, the channel helps you understand your own mind, transform suffering into insight, and live with more kindness toward yourself and others. We hope each video plants a small seed of calm, courage, and compassion in your daily life.